Today we come to John 20, verse 26 through 29. And here we come to doubting Thomas, remembering that it was Thomas who was very adamant as they were going towards Jerusalem, that as they were going to Jerusalem, it was Thomas that went forward and said, "Let us go forward and die with him," knowing all of that, how dangerous it was to go back to Jerusalem as Christ was going to the cross. And yet, Thomas, amongst those who dispersed when the arrest happened in the Garden of Gethsemane, knowing that it was also then Thomas who doubted, just like the others did as well. Nevertheless, Thomas is the one that's brought forward in our text and our reading for today. So, here with the resurrection, now Jesus showed himself to the disciples, to the 12 minus Thomas, minus Judas, so to the 10 at that point. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. And then he gives to them the keys. He says, now offer this forgiveness that I give to you. And when I give this to you, it is the Lord myself am forgiving. Just as when we begin our worship services as a called and ordained servant of the word, meaning out of the congregation, I am called to bring to you forgiveness, not by myself, but as the one the congregation has put me into this place to do. Now, with all that having happened, then Thomas hears, they witness, they share. Thomas does not believe. Then, 8 days later, the following Sunday. Now, here, 8 days, we're following the Jewish recollection of days being inclusive. So the previous Sunday is included as day one going forward. So this is the following Sunday. His disciples, Jesus' disciples, were inside again, and Thomas was with them. Notice that even though Thomas would not believe, I'm sure they said again and again, I'm sure the intervening 8 days were not up. He said, nope, we're done. I'm sure there was a lot of discussion that took place over those 8 days in sharing and in telling. And come on, Thomas, we really did see him. We really saw Jesus raised. We all believe. Come on. He is risen. He is risen indeed. And we all shout, Hallelujah. And yet, with all that, Thomas is still with the disciples. Notice that Thomas, even though you believe he's risen, I don't, the disciples still welcomed him into their fellowship. The disciples still were saying, okay, we know that you're rejecting this. Nevertheless, we still love you, Thomas. We disagree with the heart and core of who we are. Yet stay with us. Let us still be God's people together. You notice the disciples did not reject Thomas. They did not say, goodbye. No, the disciples kept Thomas, I'm sure continued to share, continued to tell, continued to say, you are one of us. We care. And even though you believe differently, we believe the Lord will come, bring faith, take you to be his own. So, with all of that, you see how the disciples acted towards Thomas. And although the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, peace be with you. Again, this is the third time in this short bit. Jesus appears and says, peace be with you. The previous ones, peace be with you, peace be with you. Now again, shalom, peace be with you. And as the word himself is giving the word peace, he is making peace amongst them. Because remember, in the beginning was the word was with God, the word was God, going to Genesis or going to John 1:1. And in the midst of that, peace be with you. Jesus is the word. And in the word is a creative word that as the word is being said, it is doing what it is saying because it is the word itself. So he says, peace be with you. And then with the disciples there, he then points over to Thomas. And then he said to Thomas directly, put your finger here. See my hands. Put out your hand, place it in my side. Do not disbelieve, but believe. Believe. I know where you're at, Thomas. I'm here for you. That's why I'm here right now. The other 10 believe. Praise be to me. Nevertheless, I'm here for you, Thomas, going for the lost sheep. This is an example of Christ. He had the 10. They were witnessing, they were sharing, and yet it was the good shepherd that sought Thomas. Peace be with you. You need this? I will give it to you. Notice Thomas's answer. Thomas answered him. Now, it doesn't say Jesus said, and then he just did it. Thomas may have probably, yes, yes. And then he said, my Lord and my God. Again, John 1 1. Who is Jesus? God himself come into the world. Who is Jesus? The Son of Man come into the world to die, and that would matter for the forgiveness of my sins. And he immediately acknowledges who this is. That yes, he is man. I can touch him. He is my Lord and my God. Clear statement. This is who Jesus is. Son of Man, Son of God. Thomas, right there, sees, believes, and acknowledges who Jesus is. And then Jesus says to him, have you believed because you have seen me? Yes. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe. And that's you. Blessed is he saw, he believed. But where was his faith to a certain degree? On his remembering, on his touching, on his knowing. Where is our faith? On Jesus Christ. The word has come to us. The word has created faith. And all of our faith, all of our trust in God rests on Jesus and his word and what he has done for us. And by that, more blessed are we because our faith is not resting here, but the blessings God has given in that holy name.